forwarding.
You can push the arrow button. The arrow? Yeah.
This is your mission?
It's not.
It's
It's
got
there you
Yes,
go.
it does.
Push the right arrow. Right. There you go.
Sorry about that. It was so cool when it worked.
Still cool. Still cool.
Okay, agents, your mission is to locate and identify 100 homeowners before the end of this year. In order to do so, here are the signs you must look for. Someone who's complaining of sleepless nights. Irritability. Stress and anxiety. Business failure or a loss of job recently. They're spending more. They have discretionary income. Somebody who you wouldn't think could all of a sudden has a brand new car out in their driveway. That could be a sign. They're complaining about the economy. They're in denial. They're suddenly relocating. It seems like almost in the middle of the night. Or they're former party people who just never show up at parties anymore and they've now become unsocial. So we're here to tell you these homeowners have options.
The options that they have, it's important to understand that homeowners have more than one option. A lot of people have heard of short sales, they've heard of foreclosures, and those aren't always the best situation for them. We've heard of loan modifications, those typically don't work out for them. As a real estate professional, when I sit down with my clients, it's important for me to be able to lay out to them all the options on the table. It's not just about me selling their house, it's about them finding the right option for them as they go through this process. It's stressful for them, and when they have a plan and they're ready to embrace that plan and they take the emotions out of the situation that they're in, then they're more successful as they go through the process. Okay? So some of the options that we have for them, can you look at? Okay, the HARP refinance program. The HARP refinance program is something that maybe all of you can participate in. It is a program set up by the government that allows you as a homeowner to be able to refinance your home at today's lower interest rates. There's a few options or a few things that you need to know about that. There's no income qualification, and the one caveat is that your loan has to be owned by the government. Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. Sorry about that.
The next option is a loan modification.
Loan mods. How many of you been through loan mods? Nobody? Okay. A loan modification is a program where the bank adjusts your mortgage to make it more affordable for you to be able to make your payments on time. A lot of problems with the loan modification program is that they've taken so long that homeowners have been misinformed and they've been told to stop making their payments by real estate professionals. I won't name any. And what that causes is it causes even more stress on the homeowner as they go through the process. If they're not prepared for a loan modification, if they have not been, their file has not been audited, and they've just said, I'm going to call the bank and I'm going to give them all my financials and give them all my situation, they're more than likely going to fail the modification process. There are certain things that you need to look for and be able to present to the bank in an intellectual manner that they'll be able to understand it.
Next we have deed in lieu of foreclosure.
A deed in lieu of foreclosure is just that you're deciding that I'm going to hand my keys and my deed back to the bank, and then they're going to clear title and allow that property to be sold. Not many loans qualify or homeowners qualify for this because most of us have 2 liens on our property. If you have more than 1 lien, then you don't qualify for a deed in lieu. There are the same ramifications as a foreclosure. The deed in lieu is still recorded on your credit report, but it's just a more dignified option to be able to hand back the key versus the bank So that is an option for a homeowner. It counts less on their credit because it says paid as agreed. So a short sale may be an option depending on the situation.
Bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy. What can I say? Call an Ariel Altman at Lake Forest Bankruptcy. Sometimes if a second lien holder is pursuing a seller, they don't want to release their lien because they have a better option to regain more money if they pursue the homeowner individually. So your second liens have the right to do that. They have the right to decline the short sale, and they have the right to pursue you based on how their note was put on the property. In that case, then maybe bankruptcy is an option for them.
Rent out the home?
Okay, we're heading into, if you have money and you need to relocate, is renting out your home an option? Sometimes that is, sometimes relocation is just a job situation, but your home can pretty much support the, or the rents can pretty much support the HOA and the taxes and the insurance and the mortgage. To be, pretty close, it may be $50,000 underwater, but you can ride out the wave. If that is an option for you and you're relocating out of state, then you need to acquire the services of a professional, Hartman Waterhouse, Montana Realty, to help you with the property management. And lastly, you can just accept your situation. You can stay and you can rent out, or you can make your payments and you can ride out this wave. But what's important that some homeowners don't understand is that it may take them 15 years to regain the equity that they had or to bring their home back up to the value of their mortgage. So it's surely a business decision whether you decide you're going to pay off that negative equity and stay in your home or you're going to make a relocation. If you have never missed a payment, you can still short sell your house if that's an option that you're choosing.
So agents, do you accept this challenge of looking for these people?
Yes, we do.
All right. Has anybody found one yet? Number one.
Who's number one?
Who's number, no.
Are we supposed to open these?
No, no, no.
Yeah, you're number one.
No?
Yes, can you read your number one?
Oh, yes. My neighbor was called by her bank and they offered her a loan mod. Do these work or is a short sale a better option for her?
In this situation, we have Robin who was in the process of a short sale. She had been going through this process for some time. She owned a multi-unit property. She really, really wanted to keep her house. The problem was that she had no income, she had no bank accounts, and the rents that she had, she was hiding. So when she was just about to be accepted by the bank for her short sale, the lender called her and said, oh, guess what? You qualify for a loan mod. And she called us and she said, I'm going to stop my short sale and I'm going to get this loan mod. And we're like, Robin, you have no money, you have no bank accounts, you have no job. The bank's not going to qualify for you for a loan mod. And she said, they said I qualified. Banks are getting incentivized for putting homeowners into a modification program. They don't have to complete the modification, they just get paid for putting them in. So there's a lot of solicitation going out to homeowners. Unfortunately, this homeowner took that option, her home went to foreclosure 2 weeks later, and she lost the $3,000 relocation incentive that we had for her. Not always a good option.
Number two?
Who's number two?
All right.
No.
I found a homeowner. Her name is Sheila. She needs to sell her house. They have just moved to Bakersfield because that's the only place her husband can find a job. His business failed, and they can't afford to maintain both properties.
Homeowners who are late in their payments are facing foreclosure comprise the majority of short sales today. In reality, many homeowners that are in this situation are in denial, pretending that it is not happening. A lot of times they don't come to terms with their situation until the sale date is only days away. And just so you know, we have taken on a short sale within a few days of a sale date. However, we don't like to because it stops all work in the office. Statistics show that 75% of all homes that are for sale on the courthouse steps were never even listed on the MLS or a short sale was attempted. In Sheila's case, they had experienced several different hardships, a business failure, loss of income, and trying to make ends meet while using up all of their savings. But Sheila was proactive and she came to us early, and the happy ending was that the short sale was successful and we were able to qualify them for an incentive program, and they walked away with $30,000 at the end. So that was a good story. Number 3.
I know a guy. He's an investor who owns a bunch of rental properties. He keeps complaining that he can't afford to keep them because the rents don't cover what he owes the bank. He is pretty financially savvy and says he wants to cut his losses and start over.
Okay. Some of you may know investors, and they don't always make the best investments. Investors were hot on the market years ago, just like everybody else was, and they are upside down. Their rents are not fulfilling the mortgage that they have, or they're looking at this cash flow situation, and cash is supposed to flow into your pocket and not out. So when they're in a negative cash flow situation or the vacancy rates are high, they're looking at their portfolio and saying, okay, what can I get rid of? The banks are doing the same thing. What can I get rid of? What can better change my portfolio or my situation? And so questions have always been brought up. I have an investment property, can I do a short sale? The answer is yes. We can do a short sale for an investment property. Bottom line is the bank can't say that you can't sell your house. You can sell your house for any reason you want to. It's just making sure that we audit your file and that we position you for the most successful short sale possible. That may mean looking over your financials, looking over your bank statements to see what's coming in or out of your bank accounts, because what we disclose to the bank, they're going to want, and they're going to go through line by line and look at. So investment properties can be sold. When a investor looks at their bottom line numbers, they're looking at the market today and they're going, I can buy this house for half the price. So they're selling their properties and they're turning around and buying homes at bargain basement prices. Investors are out there all over the place. The inventory is low because investors are buying everything that they can get their hands on. So if, this particular person we have has 5 properties and he's got one, the bank wants 2 in deep blue. So there's just a lot of options for people out there and some that they may not know about.
They even incentivied him. They offered him $14,000 to short sell his home, and it's not even his primary residence. So. Number 4.
Oh, ladies, I have a neighbor. They're newlyweds, and they're wanting to move to a larger home because they have a baby and they want more space. He makes pretty good money, but they feel stuck because they owe way more than their house is worth, and they really don't want to mess up their credit.
Okay. This type of short sale is called a strategic short sale. They're not in hurt, they're able to make their payments, but they just would like to move. This is lesser known, and a lot of people out there don't even realize that this is an option. You can sell your home without missing a payment because the bank can't tell you you're not allowed to sell your house. In Nicole's case, her and her husband really wanted to buy another house because they had a growing family. We were able to identify your hardship. In a short sale, you have to have a hardship. It doesn't always have to be financial, and in this case, we identified their hardship as needing to relocate because they wanted to upsize their home, although we didn't tell the bank that part. Despite their good income and their sizable savings, we were able to position them so they received an approval on their short sale, and because they never missed a payment and the rest of their credit were good, they were able to qualify to buy a new home the day after the short sale closed. And you can talk to John Schrum. We have a lot of homeowners who will consult with him before even starting a short sale to confirm that that is indeed possible.
What's important to know about that too is when you're being qualified for a loan, the biggest negative is missed payments. So you can do a short sale because it says paid as agreed, but it's the missed payment. So once they miss a payment and people are being told you have to miss a payment to do a short sale, that's incorrect and inaccurate information. So it's a good option for them. investors have their cash out, they're throwing it everywhere, they're picking up every property that they can find. I've been, contacted by other agents telling me any listing I have, let them know, their investors will let me take both sides of the transaction, and, they want to buy the property. What I find very difficult with that is that I have a lot of first-time home buyers, and I'm very compassionate to them, and I want them to be able to buy homes. Investors can find investments anywhere that they want to, but these first-time home buyers have an option out there that has not been available to even us. I mean, they're never gonna find interest rates like this. So it's extremely difficult though, because the market is so tight. But what it does for my sellers is when I sit down with them and go through this process, a lot of them are like, I don't want to have people traipsing in and out of my house, I don't want them to make appointments, I don't want them to keep the house clean. With the advantage of the market today, I can do a one-day open house and probably obtain 10 offers on the property in about 4 hours, and then it allows the homeowner to be able to shut their door and just continue on with their life until we actually close escrow. So they like that because they don't have to go through that nasty process of showing their house every day.
So, your mission, BNI agents, is to go out and find 100 homeowners. And time is of the essence. The Debt Relief Act is expiring at the end of this year, December 31st, which means that right now there's a law in place that if you do a short sale, the government will forgive the tax ramifications, the 1099. So it's really important for people to get this done before the 31st.
I'd like to challenge each and every one of you to do 100 homeowners means you need 2 people. So if you can identify 2 people on the back of your envelope who maybe hit one of these qualifications, then that's who we want to talk to. And it's about having dialogue. It's not about them coming and saying, I have to sell your house. It's about what options are available for them. There's a lot of scams out there, and if you hear anybody saying, oh, somebody knocked on my door and said that they can save my house, but I just have to give them $5,000, or I just have to do X, Y, and Z. It's not. It's a fraud, it's a scam, and so many homeowners have been taken by this, and it is really heartbreaking. And our passion is to identify the homeowners that are in that situation.
In front of you, agents, you will find your instructions and the tools you will need to complete your mission. And to further assist you, please mark your calendars. We will be hosting a homeowner information meeting in early September. At this meeting, homeowners will be able to explore the options that we discussed here and get answers to their most pressing questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that we know more about Tina and Marlene here, 2 of our wonderful professionals of the firm, let's do all we can to try and accept our mission and find more referrals for them.